Well, just 1 year ago, we had dispatched Abby Huntsman down to Mel's Diner in Fort Myers, Florida. Had a great conversation with the folks down there about the election.
That's right. And so this year, 1 year later, we sent Pete down there to talk to some of the same folks. Was anyone there last year, Pete, that's here today?
Yes,
really?
A number of people. Last hour we talked to the owner and one of the waitresses that were here, but we've talked to a number of people who were here both on Election Day and then 2 days later with Abby reacting to Election Day. So we're getting the pulse of, we know what we always say, the pulse of the people. We're literally getting the same pulse of some of the same people to see what they think about how the president is doing a year later. I'm here with Jan. Jan lives in Minnesota during the beautiful months of Minnesota, and then down here when it's cold, and actually shops at the same grocery store, presumably, that my parents do in Forest Lake, Minnesota. Not your only credential, though, Jan. You're also a nurse, retired. You voted for President Trump.
I did.
A year later, how do you feel like he's doing?
I think he's doing a great job. I don't think he's getting a lot of support from the established Republicans, but other than that.
He's a Republican.
No,
why are
he's
establishment
not.
Republicans rejecting him?
Because he's not a politician. He's not one of the club. So, I mean, I love what he's doing. I voted for him because he's not a politician. In fact, I prayed for our country for a long time, and God gave us Trump, and I'm thinking he has a sense of humor, too.
Speaking of, do you feel like he can get tax reform done?
Yes.
Important to you?
Yes. He can do what he can do. I mean, he has to rely on these career politicians to get the job done.
You're right. Barbara, you've said a lot of the same things. You support the president. A year out, though, a lot of headwinds for him.
Yeah, I support his effort. I think he's trying to do a fantastic job, and his effort is spectacular. It's just the roadblocks that keep being set up over and over and over and over, and it seems like it's being set up out of spite. I'm happy with the work that he's trying to get done, and I think he's really trying to do a good job.
How do you feel about all the Russia stuff a year after it's been alleged?
God, Russia. I think they need to get over it already, because a year later, they still don't have any evidence of him colluding with Russia. There's nothing concrete, and I think the Russia investigation needs to be diverted to the real issues with Russia.
Maybe the Clinton Foundation. To your point,
Yes.
Daniel, you're a butcher, which is super cool, and you say the ribeye is the best cut, which I agree with by far. But as it pertains to the president, you were a supporter, voted for him. As someone who would like to see a tax cut like anybody else, what do you hope to see him get done, and how do you feel he's doing a year later?
I feel like he's doing really good. I feel like everyone that's working against him just hates his brutal honesty. His brutal honesty. Yeah. And that's, one thing he's sticking with. I feel like he's my voice.
He talked about the forgotten man and the forgotten women in the campaign. Do you feel like he's sticking to that mantra?
Right. I don't feel like he's changed at all. I feel like everyone's trying to change him, but he's staying the course.
What's the biggest thing as a supporter you'd like to see him get done?
I think he needs to get this tax cut done, and then after that, he needs to try and divert his attention back to health care.
Let's do I'm going to do a show of hands with folks in the diner here. Who here would vote for President Trump again? Oh, well, I didn't even rehearse that. We just made that up on the spot. So we got a lot of support here a year later, and folks that are enthusiastic to give their opinion and support this president. So, and I'm going to get a free cut of meat, hopefully. We'll see.
Go for the filet.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't say bacon.
That's right.
Well, the guy's a butcher. Pete Hegseth with his live focus group right there.